Luka Dončić has the 2023 NBA MVP on a silver platter, and here is why. As of right now, the betting odds for MVP this season are as followed. Nikola Jokic is obviously the favorite at plus 430 as he was robbed last season. And then number 2, we have Luka Dončić at plus 550. Giannis is at plus 600. Tatum and Embiid are at 750 and 850, and then you have Steph and Kevin that are at plus 1400 and plus 1900. Luka Dončić, unlike the others in the top 4, has yet to be crowned the MVP of the NBA, despite being the undisputed MVP for the Mavericks. Both Giannis and Nikola Jokic are 2-time winners, and Embiid obviously won last year, and like I said, it should have gone to Jokic, but I digress. However, Luka just hasn't crossed that threshold of being the NBA's best player or the best player on the winningest team. He's at least been on the ballot over the past 4 years. He was ranked number 4 in MVP voting in 2019, and then he was ranked number 5 in 2021. In my opinion, Doncic hasn't really had the roster as quite well constructed as the one we have for the Mavericks this year. He now shares the backcourt with an all-star or superstar, depends on who you ask, point guard and Kyrie Irving, who's more than capable of alleviating some of that offensive pressure with off-the-ball movement and off-the-ball scoring. Kyrie is obviously one of the most polished bucket getters in our league. And aside from that, he has a lot of other notable pieces that are just more serviceable than we've seen in the past. Seth Curry is an absolute insane pickup they had in the offseason for such a great price. Seth Curry is the perfect type of guy you want around the Luka Dončić, the LeBron James, the Nikola Jokic, those guys that are just passing the ball and going to get, volume shooters like that wide open. Aside from Seth, you have Maxi Kleber, who can shoot the ball really well and plays good defense. Josh Green, who I think is going to have a really big sophomore surge this season. I'm not a big fan of him, but Grant Williams is on this team, and he showed in Boston that he can have some serviceable minutes. And then you have another guy like Tim Hardaway Jr., who's kind of like just honestly like someone like J.R. Smith or Iman Shumpert, who gets their own bucket. They can be explosive off the bench. They got good handles. They're bouncy. They can shoot the ball quickly. Great guy to have next to Luka Dončić. Again, these guys are serviceable, but this team doesn't scream championship contenders. However, that doesn't matter. We're talking about a regular season award. Now, for me, it's very simple. Jokic and Giannis and Embiid, they make up the last 5 MVPs. Luka, during all of those stints, has been putting up increasingly great numbers, as you can see on your screen. Everything's been improving. However, he's missing the biggest part of this all, winning. In 2018, they were the 14th seed. In 2019, they were the 7th seed. Then in 2020, they were the 5th seed. In 2021, despite boasting 52 wins, they were only the 4th seed. Obviously, last year we had that big failure as the 11th seed. Like I said, 52 wins in 2021, that's impressive. You might be wondering, how is he not winning MVP that year? Well, you have Nikola Jokic, who's breaking Wilt Chamberlain's PER record, which no one ever would have thought would have happened, also averaging a near triple-double. And then you have the Phoenix Suns, who won nearly 64 games. There's a lot of Devin Booker for MVP propaganda that season. Nonetheless, this year, I think the easiest way for Luka Dončić to win MVP would by simply be winning regular season games. His statistics, like I showed you, are getting better and better, and he's managed to play a fair amount of games as he's played more than 65 each year, which is eligible as the awards have changed. They're obviously trying to crack down on load management and whatnot. Now you have to play 65 games to be eligible for, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, yada yada. And let's just cut to the truth of this whole thing. The people are getting tired of voting for Nikola Jokic, as we saw last year. And that's not to say that Jokic doesn't deserve it. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I think my biggest video is about, or my second biggest video is actually about Nikola Jokic. You're very aware I'm a fan of Nikola Jokic, and I think he should have been winning it last year. That's neither here nor there. However, alongside Jokic winning it, people also realized while Embiid won the MVP, it was a quote-unquote big mistake due to his postseason performances. I do really want to get this point across to you guys. This is a regular season award, but we have seen with Jokic, we have seen with Giannis, now we're seeing with Embiid. When these elite talents perform in the regular season and then come up short time and time again in the postseason, the NBA narrative and the NBA media absolutely hates it. Guys, remember when Giannis was not a champion? That year, we said he's not the MVP this year. We're giving it to Jokic. He's not a champion. Boom. They upset the 64-win Suns in the finals. Then Jokic, we say, you know, he won it 2 years in a row. He hasn't done. He lost to the Warriors in that round. We're not giving it to Jokic. Boom. So pretty much walks and jogs his way to an NBA Finals. Swept the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Beat the Miami Heat in 5 games in the NBA Finals. Absolutely crazy. Then now we're seeing it with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid wins the MVP. We say, oh, blah, 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 one of the most dominant centers since Shaq. Now this year, they are not going to even let him close to that award because of the fact that he underperformed. I don't know why they do this, because it's a regular season award and we're talking about postseason performance. That's neither here nor there. I just had to explain that to you guys really quickly. And then finally, there's Giannis and Jason Tatum, the other threats to winning this award outside of Jokic and Embiid. Giannis and Tatum each have new star teammate or teammates in Jason's case with Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday. And then obviously we saw last night, Giannis's new teammate Damian Lillard had 39 points in his opening night. So these are going to remove their statistical output just a little bit, or at least deteriorate it just a little bit. Obviously, when someone is ball dominant, it's coming in, you're going to get less MVP type looks. Giannis even said it himself, which I think is kind of BS, that Damian Lillard is the leader of this team now and it's his team. I don't know. I just don't like that statement. I get he's trying to be a good teammate and make him feel accepted and comfortable, but no. You've been there for over 10 years. You've won 2 MVPs with this team, an NBA championship, a finals MVP. It's your team, it's your city, end of story, don't care. Tangents aside, I think Luka Dončić has the best odds this year, and obviously the voting almost shows it as he's second in MVP. It's simply just about winning games, guys. The last 5 MVPs have all been international players. I think we make it 6 in a row here with Luka Dončić or Nikola Jokic. Luka showed out in the opening night against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs, making a clutch dagger to cap off a 30-point performance. Guys, the Mavs, they start out with their first win of the season. And I think it's going to be a great year for Dallas basketball, or at least Luka Dončić in general. If they can be the 3 or the 4 seed, guys, I see almost zero way that Luka's not, boasting an MVP award. And lastly, I hate to be the guy who points out conspiracy theories, but want to know something that LeBron James, Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, and many other greats have in common? They all won MVP in their 6th year. And guess who else is entering their 6th year dominating the NBA? That's all I gotta say. I mean, coincidences aside, guys, it could be something crazy. What do you think, though? Is Luka Dončić capable of winning an MVP this year, or am I overhyping this ease that I think he would be able to do it with? Obviously saying if they're the 3 seed or the 4 seed, he'd win it. Let me know in the comments below if you made it this far. I appreciate your support as always. Have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.